Welcome to Covert Beauty Podcast. It's time to uncovert with your favorite covert agents.
Hello. Welcome everybody to the It Is Time to Uncovert podcast. We're so glad you guys can join us for another awesome and amazing episode.
Yes.
I cannot wait to share with you what the topic is for tonight. It's going to be a great one. So before we get started, I'm going to introduce myself and we're going to go ahead and let you guys know who else we have with us tonight. I am Alexis. I am the Chief Supply Officer for Covert Beauty. And we have...
I am Ricardo. I am the Chief Financial Officer for Covert Beauty.
And next we have Ms. Zanelle.
I'm Zanelle, and I am the, Jesus Christ. That's crazy, creative content coordinator. I apologize.
Okay. And I am Sabea, President CEO of Covert Beauty.
Nice, thank you.
Yes.
All right.
That's definitely the vibe of the night. So, as you guys know, we are with the podcast for Covert Beauty. We are very big on being intentional on the topics that we choose that is brought to us, and we make sure that we take in consideration what is going on in our environment and in our world in the midst of us recording the podcast episode.
Yes.
And so, today we're going to talk about toxicity. Ooh. We're going to talk about
because it's trending now. It's such a cool thing to be toxic.
It's a movement.
Oh yeah,
it's not. It's not. We are not going to celebrate toxicity. No, we are not. And so we are going to address toxic behaviors and the healing behind it. Like, what's the work? What work are you willing to put into?
Or have you put into?
Well, that too.
Yeah.
Like that.
Have you put work into identifying and healing from toxic behaviors? Okay. So, as you guys know, we're going to keep it the original way with Covert Beauty.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Right. Everybody. So, I have some questions.
Okay.
And I'm going to ask, and I want to get some feedback. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Let's start with you, Miss Zanelle.
All right.
Yeah. First question. As you know, I'm asking, then we're going to go around and everybody's going to answer the question.
Okay.
All right. So, first question. What does toxic look like when you're the host and not the victim?
This is a really good question. It's a really good question.
Right there.
What does
Ooh, okay. I'm gonna start it off. Let's do it. To be honest, if you really think about it, when you are the host of the toxic behaviors, you never really know that you're doing it unless it's being addressed to you. So, if I can be transparent right now, I was in a 5-year relationship with my father's children. And I did not know that I was the toxic one until after we had kids. It was the craziest thing because it's like my behaviors during my postpartum depressions I used to talk down to him a lot. I tried to make it seem like it was his fault why things happened because we had complications in the pregnancies. So I used to be like, you know what, you're not this and you're not that and you don't do anything for me and you're not doing nothing you're supposed to be doing as a man, when in all actuality, it was me not doing my part and I was blaming him for what I wasn't doing. Does that make sense?
I mean,
so,
yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes as women, especially young women, we forget that men have feelings too. So we don't always think about their feelings, and they put up with a lot during pregnancies. They put up with the attitudes, the cravings, the changing of the mind, the changing of your spirits, the spirits that you allow inside of you. And they're trying to help you fight these things off while all trying to be the father of their children. And sometimes as women, we don't always acknowledge that. And we make them feel beneath what they really are.
Ooh, that's grown.
Yeah.
That's grown.
So
Yeah.
it really is. And to be the host, I didn't realize how bad it was until after the fact. Because all I was worried about was me. Does that make sense? Sometimes when you're the host, all you worry about is you. You don't worry about anybody else's feelings.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had to literally grow up and grow out of that. And it really took for us to like sit down for him to tell me, hey, yo, listen, Zanelle, like you're not treating me the way I need to be treated right now. And all that's going to make me do is pull away from you. And when I finally realized it was me, I was just like, you know what? We're going to figure this out. We're going to find a way, and we're going to make this better, not only for ourselves, but for our kids. So that's all I can really boil it down to. When you're the host, you never really recognize the toxicity that you're putting off on yourself and on others. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. That's another snap.
Thank you.
Yes.
Hey, we keeping it real, right? We keeping it real.
Yeah. Always.
You got to be honest. It's not always the women that go through the most things. Sometimes it's the men too. They're just not gonna say anything.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
That's
so
Very true.
yeah.
Well,
Oh Lord, I got you.
since we said the men won't usually say it when they're in it, we're going to pass the question over to you, Mr. Ricardo.
Okay. I got some
Mr.
stuff
Ricardo.
to say about that question. So my wife knows a lot about my past and how I was, right? So I'm going to be 100% honest as well. So a lot of men, I'm not going to say a lot of men, some men, for example, they like to be players and don't really understand what they're doing to that woman when they're during that process. Men chase the numbers for whatever reason that is for them, the excitement, the chase, whatever the case may be. And during that time, men are really making a lot more harm than good. And even as a man myself, when I was through that phase, I had multiple girlfriends at that time. You can't grow as a man, right? Because you got to do the same lies. You got to act the same way because you don't want to get caught up. You don't want to get caught slipping or get in trouble no way, right? So how is there really growth when you're doing that? You know what I mean?
That's deep.
So when you really, look at God, look at changing as a man, you got to really look at yourself like, are you ready to change? Are you ready to focus on yourself or healthy enough to be a husband or a boyfriend for a woman? At the end of the day, men need to support women. And if you can't support yourself, then you're really not really in a place to support others. But even during this journey, you can still get to that point. It just takes a lot of discipline and a lot of focus and determination you got to do on your end. You really got to want to do though. So that's my insight.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Ricardo.
All right. And just a little, spice on this. I'm going to introduce another one of the teammates over here on Covert Beauty.
Yeah.
Come on, Miss D.
Miss D,
Go ahead and let the
baby.
people know who you are.
Yes.
Miss D, baby.
Hello. Everybody. What does toxic look like when you're the host and not the victim? As a female, I feel we have amplified in being toxic as women nowadays because we're so, I feel in society, women are trying to be taking on the men's role to another extent. And when I say that because, I know back in the day, like some women, there was a time when women just had to be the mother and the father for the kids because, situations, fine, cool, whatever. But now it's to the point where it's okay for the woman to say, okay, well, I don't need this person, I don't need that person, but forgetting that really what was meant for us in biblically, was the partnership of the man and the woman. You know what I'm saying? But now it's emphasized that the woman doesn't need the man. So the woman is actually becoming the man in every way. So Rico, he spoke on how, men, they go through that phase, that player phase. But now you see the women doing that and more proud.
It's a hot girl summer, I think. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, that's what it's called. That's what it's called.
Oh, okay.
Hot girl summer.
that.
All right, hot girl summer. I feel like there's levels to it, but I'm saying like even just the idea of a woman being a woman now, it's okay. It's and you know, it's nothing personal. You know what I'm saying? If that's your situation, fine, cool, whatever. Because everybody has their own journey, has their own path and own reasonings as to why they handle it. They conduct themselves that way.
Yes.
But it's being told that it's more okay. You know what I'm saying? Like little girls aren't being taught, okay, a man is supposed to be in your life. He's supposed to be the head of household. He's supposed to lead the family biblically, spiritually. You know what I'm saying? It's like their roles have been taken.
Yeah.
You know, and it's been twisted. And it's to the point where it's okay to, I don't know, I don't want to say anything offensive, you know what I'm saying? But it's okay for women to let themselves go as a helping figure. You know what I'm saying?
Help meets.
Yeah.
Yes,
you know,
to the man. Yeah.
Instead of bringing up that partnership, it's being torn down. So that I think we as women, we become more toxic and more entitled. Like even with like, and I'm sorry for taking up all the, you know,
no, go ahead, girl. She on the road.
You good? You got that.
Like the domestic violence, you know what I'm saying? Due to my previous employment, I was able to look at things in a different perspective. You know what I'm saying? Usually when you think about just domestic violence, people have to remember men get into domestic violence too, and they're victims as well. You know what I'm saying? But because we're women, it's been so quick to say, okay, it's always a woman, but it's not. So
more often than not,
it's as a woman, we just have to do better because we got our kids to raise and show them what's what. So
yes,
I like that.
I got something quick too. So I definitely agree with a lot of things you're saying, and from a man's perspective.
Okay, I got to interject. I just want to be very clear that we are not being too general because we don't want to be spokespeople for men or women. So I'd like for us to try to keep it as specific to us and our experiences as well, and maybe our friends, you know, that we have these types of discussions with. But I do want to go on the record and say by no means do we mean to try to fit anybody in a box or open up and say that because I'm a woman, all women feel like this, and because Ricardo is a man, all men feel like this. Okay, so I just want to, you know, we're speaking off of our circle, our network, our natural support system. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Okay, I lost my train of thought.
Oh, okay.
Can I answer the question? What does toxic look like when you're the host and not the victim? I learned in a previous relationship that when I am going through my storm, I am more codependent and I project my expectations on my mate. And so I'm defensive and I'm the aggressor. I've never physically put my hands on a man, but my mouth is a lethal weapon.
I felt that.
That's more dangerous than
it is
physical abuse.
Because before I knew that it was toxic, I would find your deepest insecurity and I would play on it like a fiddle. I was the fiddle on your fiddle. I would find that, and that's what toxic looked like to me in my past relationships. And it's not in a relationship. Anytime I felt like I had to defend myself before I understood that what that person said was not that serious. It's something I had to address on my own. But it didn't work like that. You hurt my feelings, I don't have to explain why, but I'm gonna make sure you're gonna hurt more than I did. And I don't care what it triggers in you. So
I felt that.
Toxic look like when I am the aggressor.
Wow.
I felt that.
Me too. Yeah. Well, for me, there's two telltale signs. Okay, whenever I'm the host, and the first one is when I notice that I'm doing and saying things that my toxic mother did that disgust me, you know, when I was growing up, or the things that I would say that, oh, I'm never going to do that. And I catch myself doing it. So that's my first telltale as to when I'm hosting. And then the second thing would be when I put more effort into making excuses than to make moves.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because it doesn't have to be, it doesn't necessarily pertain to my life goals. You know, it could be something very simple, you know, between me and my husband. you know, and he can, you know, say, I don't like when you do this. And instead of me saying, oh, okay, babe, well, you know what? I didn't know you felt that way. Let me think on it. You know, let's revisit this conversation. And, you know, we could talk about where I'm willing to budge and where you're, you know, willing to meet me on this. But no, instead, it would be something like I would make an excuse about it and make it his problem to have to either accept it or not. Yeah.
Ooh,
yeah.
That's
dangerous. It is. Especially when you have a good man that wants you happy and doesn't like conflict, right?
Yeah.
It builds up other walls and barriers. So I know personally, for me, my level of toxicity is at a max. And it can be because I'm very influential when it comes to my circle, you know? And so it could be really dangerous if I don't manage it. Yeah.
Yeah. These are deep.
Yeah. I thought that's what we was here for.
I'm here for it.
Oh, we're here for it. I'm here for it now. I'm here for it.
Here.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Y'all ready for question?
That was just a warm up. What's up?
That was the warm up.
I know, right?
You ready for question number 2?
I'm ready. Y'all ready?
Let's do it.
Good.
Let's do it.
Okay. Our next question is, what was your most toxic year? That year when you were just on a roll, boy, cutting heads off and even worrying about where the body fell.
Oh,
yeah. That's what
Oh, Lord.
Figuratively speaking.
Yes, figuratively speaking.
Okay.
I'm not trying to let nobody. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know any lawyers. Okay, do not get in trouble.
Oh, Lord.
I'm talking in a figurative way. What was the most toxic year in your life?
Dang.
Ooh.
I mean, your most toxic.
Okay, well, you can answer first.
So that would be the lead one. The most toxic. So it's the most toxic. Oh man, because I mean I had a few toxic years, but the most toxic year.
I see some wisdom.
I know.
Okay, sir.
So it will have to be 2014. When I had a fiance at the time, but I also was heavily playing in the streets too. So it was like there was just no loyalty. I didn't care about feelings. I didn't care who I hurt. I wasn't even thinking of the other person and what my actions could be doing, even though they didn't know what I was doing.
Why do you think you're doing all that?
I don't know. It's just, you know, when you're in that mindset of being a player, for me, it was excitement. You know, it wasn't caring for that person too much. You just wanted to chase a number and see if you can get something new. You know? And if you get hooked on that thrill, then it ain't no different from an addiction.
It's like an adrenaline.
Oh wow!
Wow.
Yeah.
Now that's something you don't hear every day.
I mean, but it's true.
That's crazy.
It is. That's
That's facts.
Oh, I have to throw some
That is
stats in there for
facts.
that.
I know, right?
Yeah.
There's somebody to be mad at me after this talk, but
Right.
that's what it is, though. You know, that's definitely what it is.
Wow.
Right.
Woo.
Okay, so
Okay.
even for you. Okay, for real. What you got, Giselle?
Yeah.
Oh, okay now. Okay. I would definitely say, Jesus, Lord, you done hit me. My most toxic year, I would have to say, was 2015. I just had my son, August 2014. My oldest son, he's 6 now. He just had a birthday.
Oh, happy birthday!
Yeah. I went through. I would have to really classify this as the most toxic postpartum depression ever. It was so bad to a point where I didn't even recognize myself. Does that make sense? I didn't see the person that my mom raised. I didn't see the woman that was supposed to basically be this outstanding mother. What I was taking out all of my frustration out on my child.
Oh my God.
If I cry, I'm sorry, but it's the truth, and I always like to stand my truth. Because you heal from stuff like that.
That's right.
My son, I tried my best to detach myself from my child. because I didn't want him to feel the things that I felt when I had to go through a whole like half of a pregnancy by myself, because I felt like I was becoming a statistic, a stereotype that, you know, every young Black mother, because I just turned 20 when I had my child. I was young, you know what I'm saying? So I never wanted to be that woman that had a child out of wedlock, number one, to be the one that was raising a child by herself, number two. And I became so frustrated with that, to the point where I allowed my toxicity to come off of my child. I didn't want to breastfeed him. I didn't want to be around him. I didn't show him the amount of love that he needed. It got to a point where I found myself locking myself in the bathroom just so I won't hear him cry.
Oh, wow.
Because he needed me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I didn't realize it until I went to church at the end of the year. And my pastor was like, listen, Trinity, like, listen here. You're not who you are right now. This is not you. I don't know what it is detaching you from your child, but you need to let all of this toxic stuff go before your child grows up resenting you. And it really took for me to heal from that. I had to heal from everything that happened when I was in my pregnancy, when I was just by myself raising him. And once I finally let all of that toxic stuff go, I found myself becoming a better mother, a better woman, just a better individual, period. And I started showing my son so much more love, to the point where now our bond is very inseparable.
Oh,
So,
amen.
Yeah, that's my baby, man. Okay, that little boy, he works out with me. He motivates me. Every time he sees me do my makeup, he's like, "Mommy, you're so beautiful," and I'm just like, "Oh, like you know." So yeah, yeah. That brought back flashbacks. Lord have mercy.
We got to snap to that too. Like, thank you so much for sharing that. That is not an easy topic.
I don't mind being transparent. I don't mind being transparent at all. Like, because you gotta be able to tell somebody else your story, so that way.
But that's where the healing is.
Yeah,
exactly.
The more comfortable you are speaking your truth, the more you heal.
Right. Exactly.
I believe that in my heart.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you, Sanel.
Thank you.
No problem.
Well, I'll answer. I would say my most toxic year would be 2014. 2014, I was still freshly separated from what I thought was going to be my husband. And I was so consumed with how he hurt me. I was the victim. I was too hurt to realize that the saying hurt people was real.
Yeah.
And I was out here hurting, and I didn't care who I was hurting in the process. I was stuck in between deciding whether I wanted to still fight for what I thought was left of my previous relationship, but I wasn't going to get the satisfaction of submitting to him. So I had to show him what he was missing without realizing what I was putting out into the atmosphere, who I was hurting in the process. I cut ties with my siblings. Me and my best friend, my sister, my eldest sister, my womb mate, we weren't even speaking. That was the darkest year of my life. But I learned in that moment. I learned during that year that I can accept what I am doing, but I have to learn how to actually process it, to heal from it. Because acceptance is only the first step. I had to learn how to put the work in. I had to learn how to break down those barriers, break down those walls, and dissect what it was that was going on inside of me before I was able to say, okay, you know what, that wasn't even your fault. I'm sorry. You know?
Right.
I don't feel right leaving all of those burdens on you and not respecting what it is that you were going through at the same time. So that's when I became a grown woman. Like I had to learn.
Yeah.
You can't be out here hurting feelings because you hurt.
That's right.
That is not fair.
That's right.
So yeah.
Wow.
Yes. Okay. Your turn, D.
My toxic year.
I wish y'all could see Dee Dee's face right now. Ooh, this is a good one for her.
Rolodex going on up in there.
Come on, baby. Come on, baby.
For the record, I do not like this question. Just want to put that out there. I got my legs shaking.
I'm nervous.
I mean, I
Just you can only share what you're comfortable
I
with.
don't know, but that's the thing. Like, I'm not trying to sound funny, but like, I don't have a toxic year. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't feel like I have a toxic year. I feel like, you know, I have toxic moments. I've had toxic moments.
Okay, so which year did you have the most toxic moments?
Yeah.
I don't know is what I'm saying. It's really hard to be able to speak on just 1 year for me personally, because like this year I've grown a lot versus my past 6 to 8 years. My last 6 to 8 years have been up and down. It's been a mental roller coaster for me. So like that's what I'm saying. I can't just put it in 1 year. And that's something I'm still processing myself still to this day. So just looking back, I've blanked out a lot of stuff. I've tried to forget, or I've forgotten a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So like
That's
a toxic year, like I don't know. I can't put it in a year. But I will say I've had multiple toxic situations and times. But
you got any that's sticking out to you?
yeah, I mean, me losing my identity, you know what I'm saying? That was very toxic for me. And I'm in the process of healing from that and redefining and re-understanding myself, you know, because I caught myself just moving in life in autopilot mode. Like I'm floating, you know what I'm saying? Just floating through life and like not addressing certain things. Or if I did, like I would address the small things like they were big things and the big things like they were small.
Oh, wow. Yeah, wow.
So, yes. That's stuff that like I'm working through still to this day, you know. I'm healing. I've healed from a few things, you know, but it's still a journey. But yeah, that's been a toxic moment. Losing my identity and trying to work through the darkness to regain it. That's where
that's a whole different kind of work.
It is.
Yeah.
That's a whole different kind of work. Wow. Yeah. Well, that deserves a few seconds. For real, because that's traumatic.
Yeah.
You know what she just described her past few years is trauma. It's trauma.
Yeah.
So there's nothing to be embarrassed about. And you let them tears out, baby.
That's right.
You let them tears out.
Because that's healing.
I sure let mine
You
out.
made so much progress.
Yeah.
You made so much amazing progress. For you to even be on this open panel right now
Yeah.
and saying that is a lot for you, because we know you. And you don't open up to nobody. So if anything, this is a huge testament of how much work and growth you've already done and completed.
Yes.
Absolutely. And I mean that. You know I'm a ride for you. You already know.
everybody at this table will.
That's right.
That's right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We ain't blowing no smoke.
None.
Because you being here right now is a product of the work that you're doing.
That's right.
So there ain't no cap with that.
None.
Periana.
Well, since you got the jokes, First Lady.
Oh man.
Yes.
You guys.
Yes. What was your most toxic year, First Lady?
I'm going to say for adulthood, my most toxic year is definitely 2012.
Oh.
That was, that was when I was sexually assaulted by a fellow service member. And the whole situation was so toxic because I wasn't even hurt or upset about what he had done to me. I was hurt and upset with myself for what I allowed him to do, because that's what I told myself. You know, for those who don't know, I was a victim of sexual trauma as a child. And so me leaving to join the military was me pretty much fleeing sexual violence. And I made a promise to myself that I would never let anybody hurt me again in that way. And then it happened when I turned like 25. So that incident, it made me hate myself. And the reason why it was so toxic was because I was spiraling out of control while convincing myself that I had everything under control. So for everybody that cared about me, that wanted to be there for me, they took it as though I was isolating and barricading, like I didn't want to be bothered with anybody. I needed space, you know. But to me, I thought I was protecting everybody from me because I was so angry. And I was out there looking for dudes that triggered me, that fit a certain profile. And I would purposely set them up, sleep with them, don't call them. Like I was going out of my way to hurt them. I was destroying their circles. You know, like I was going after their egos and their reputations. I literally had became a predator myself, right? But to me, I was just out there having a good time because, you know, guys do it all the time.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right? That's what Dee was saying earlier.
Yes.
Yeah, the men do it all the time. I'm a single woman out here. I don't got no kids. I pay my own bills. Y'all out here always talking about y'all. Y'all don't want nobody chasing y'all. You don't want nobody thirsty, nobody blowing up your phone. Well, you ain't got to worry about that with me. Well, all I know is that if you don't answer that phone after 2:00 when I get out the club, I'm gonna call your homeboy. Ooh. And that's really where I was. And so that year I actually got this tattoo on my chest and it's still there. And it's so funny because I asked my husband when we got married because of how my wedding dress was. I said, babe, do you want me to make sure this tattoo is covered up, you know, on our wedding day? And he was like, no, I don't want you to cover that up. That was a part of you. That's what he told me.
I love that. I love that.
And so for me to go into detail about the tattoo on my chest, I had traced out my lip print. And so I have my lips tattooed on my chest and around it, it says, a wise girl kisses but doesn't love. And so before I met my husband, it was going to be a complete series. It's a Marilyn Monroe quote. And behind my ear, I was going to get listens but doesn't believe. And on my foot, I was going to get leaves before she is left. Wow. And that's really where I was. That is where I was. I was really out there catching flights, no feelings. And it was so detrimental to myself because in all actuality, after doing the work of coming out of that, I realized that I'm a wife. Okay. I'm out here doing all of this and excuse me, I'm somebody's wife.
Periodic.
Periodic table.
Yes.
Okay. And so it just took the right kind of man to step up and show me that. Because the caliber of men that I was dating previously, especially around that time, I settled a lot for. And I've always noticed that when it came to me in relationships, I always seemed to set the guy up for the next relationship.
Oh my!
You know, I would never get the house. I'd never get the baby. I'd never get the ring. It was always somebody else. Or if I'm being completely honest, they already had that with somebody else, and I was on the side. So yeah, 2012, honey. Ooh, I didn't even like looking at myself in the mirror.
Baby.
I didn't like looking at myself in the mirror. That year, I remember being in a uniform, walking around wondering, did I do my hair this morning?
That's real.
Wow.
I didn't want to look at myself.
That's real.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So 2012 for me, for sure, my most toxic year.
Woo. Well, all right. I appreciate the transparency.
I see Lex's face right now. She happy?
I am.
Lord have mercy.
I had another question.
I'm just
but
kidding.
I'm not going to do that one.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Thank you.
Because I feel like
You coming for the jugular tonight.
Oh, baby, I didn't say I was going to make it easy.
She said she wasn't going to pick that question. You know, she got more.
You already know. No, like, I'm an educator, baby. I'm getting that brain. We're going to use the words.
Oh, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Please, let's do it.
Bring it on. Yes. All right. Now that you're aware of your toxic behaviors and tendencies, What are you doing different? And how are you breaking those bad habits?
Okay, all right.
Come on, D.
Look at you excited.
You're excited. Now you go first.
Well, I was going to say, we know who's going first. Go ahead, girl.
I like that question. All right. So.
So animated, y'all.
So cute.
All right. I just got so excited over the question. I didn't even think about what I was gonna say. But what I will say, with my past and everything, what I'm doing differently, I'm living. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm living for me. I'm not living by anybody else's guidelines.
Come on.
Nobody else's expectations.
Yes.
I'm finally embracing that person that I saw myself being. And I know, man, these years to come are going to be very, very good.
Very, very, very cool.
Yeah.
And I am very happy to be here.
Yes. Look, the only reason why we knew she was going to say that because this is literally who D is all day, every day. Every day. She is one of those people, she will frustrate you because her energy is so dope. And you know when she's holding back. Yep. She give you just enough, and if you peep that, it makes you just want to hug her. It's just like, baby, you can let all of that energy out. You don't got to protect yourself from us.
Right.
You know?
All.
So yeah, I thought that was funny. We already knew what she was going to say. Okay, sorry about that. Okay. All right, who's next? Mr. Ricardo. Oh, hey.
Oh,
You looking good today too, y'all.
Hey.
So what was the question again?
The question is, now that you're aware of your toxic behaviors / tendencies, what are you doing different and how are you breaking those bad habits?
That's a really good question.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
For me, I have to say I got God in my life now.
Okay. Come on.
Oh, that answer. Period.
My favorite part of him.
Yeah.
Period.
I would say that was the biggest thing that ever could happen to me and to help me identify a lot of bad things in my life to get away from. It's finding that constant battle to focus on God, to, have that armor of God, because I have a wife, I have a family that I have to lead. And as a man, that's a lot of responsibility if you're not ready for it.
That's so true.
Yes.
And you got to be able to put the work in to be ready. It don't come given to myself, and I understand that. So I have constant work every day that I have to get better on. It ain't easy, but I know I can do it.
For real.
That's right.
Yes.
Some more snaps for that.
Yes.
No, y'all can't have him be my brother. No, y'all can't
Oh,
have
Lord.
Not at all.
And I will say this though too, my wife plays a big part of this encouragement for me because she's such a great, amazing person.
Oh, thank you, baby.
Oh.
So I want to give wifey props.
You can see her face,
Baby.
boy. A big old tomato.
Thank you,
Red.
baby.
Oh.
So sweet. Woo. Well,
Lord have mercy.
Zanelle.
Oh no, man.
Ooh,
I'm for first lady.
Oh, come on.
Like, how do you go after something like that, though? Is the
Oh,
question.
because it's fun. You can't always do the same. You gotta mix it up.
Yes, ma'am.
I like that. I like that. I like that.
Oh, yes, ma'am. I shall answer
Okay.
the question.
Yes, I want to hear you.
All right, I got you.
So
Okay, for
you-
me, I would definitely say, when it comes down to that, me working on being able to communicate. I am not a big communicator. When I go through things, I go through it in silence because I don't like to make people aware that I am the one that's going through something. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense.
It sure does.
Okay. Yeah, because it's a lot of people that, they never want nobody to see them going through anything. They just want to be the one that smiles and, make everybody else happy. They never like to show people when they're going through.
Okay.
So that's me. I never like to show people that I'm going through anything. I always want to be that happy, hunky-dory person that's like, hey, let's go do this. Let's go do that. And for me, I've learned that open communication helps the healing process.
It does.
And it actually helps seal the healing process because now you're open enough to be like, you know what, I can get through this.
Yes.
And, it's true. Everybody needs somebody. You know what I'm saying? You can't do everything by yourself.
Yeah.
You can't do everything by yourself. So for me, it was being able to communicate a lot more my needs and the things that I needed to help me get through things. And also, what also helped me is basically learning how to love yourself again. That helped me out a lot. Yeah, because there was a point where I did not love myself through that dark period of time of being the one that was toxic. And when I learned how to love myself again, it helped me get to the next level in my life to where I can help somebody else. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And that's all I got. That's all I got.
Yeah.
That was powerful.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That is powerful.
No, you good.
Now, you got saved. But Janelle,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
you saved her. I appreciate you holding down for the home team. I do. I appreciate you being the buffer, and we love you for it. However, comma, it is your turn, First Lady, to
Okay.
answer this question.
Can I just go on the record and say I didn't have a problem answering it the first time? That's not my fault. I'm getting all this energy, but okay. Now that I've identified all of that, what I'm working on now is, so I've somewhat surpassed the phase where I identified and I've become acquainted with and really bonded with what my toxic habits are. So I've completed that level. Now I'm at the point where I'm trying to, I'm not, I am. I am, because I get up every day and I make it my personal business to keep this on going. I am currently in the process of unlearning toxic beliefs.
I like that.
So that's the work that I'm
Period.
doing right now. That's a word. That's a word. No, but for real, in real life, my life right now. But for real. You know, and I'll give an example. So I mentioned before in the live demo with the new Sisters in Arms and my sister's Keeper eyeshadow palettes that I'm currently on a personal leave of absence from my place of employment because I've had to dedicate more of my time to managing my mental fitness. Okay. So that's what I'm doing right now. So I am in therapy again. And this time it is not, well, actually it's nowhere near as structured as any other form of therapy I've been in. I'm doing something that's called acceptance and commitment therapy, where I discuss my traumas and stuck points and, you know, things that I've identified. And I learn to sort through them, take away the good stuff, leave the bad stuff, and build my toolkit from there so that whenever I am presented with things that happen or somebody says or does that reminds me of those dark times, I've already dealt with it. So it doesn't hurt anymore. And I have more control over my thoughts and my feelings so that I can be more present in my response, right? Because we can't control when we're upset. We're held accountable for what we do when we're upset, our response.
Yeah.
So I'm the type of person, I'm very tactical. I study my enemy and his weapons and how he uses them against me. And that is what I use to protect myself, right? So that's where I'm at right now. So I've discovered in therapy, which I've been using to organize my thoughts and, you know, get more specific prayer points. I've discovered that I'm the type of person that I operate off of performance-based love. So that means that I learned this about myself actually within the past few weeks that I was never convinced that people could actually, or anybody could actually love me for just being Sabea, and that I would have to do something to earn that love. Just like I was taught you have to earn people's respect. Well, what does that look like? You know, and it has become a very exhausting process when trying to maintain so many relationships, and the burden of their success is put on me because I feel like if it doesn't work out, it's because something I did wrong. You know, and having to continuously do work and put in work, quote unquote, to show these people that I'm an asset in their life.
Right.
So don't leave me. Yeah. And that was in my relationships, my friendships, you know, like work relationships, my relationships with my parents. It's everywhere. And it's a false reality.
Wow.
It's a false reality. So that is a toxic habit. I identified that as a toxic habit. Now I'm at the point where I'm praying about how do I unlearn that? What is it going to take for me to honestly believe in my heart that I'm lovable without having to do anything but be myself? Right? So that is where the work lies. So just like Alexis was saying, we're talking about our toxic behaviors. Yeah, it's easy to point out the things that we're doing that are toxic, especially when you have people in your face every day telling you what you're doing, right? But getting behind, well, why do I do this in the first place?
Right.
What led me to believe that this was acceptable and this was okay? And what about this is so important to me that I can't consider how it's going to make somebody else feel?
Wow.
Ooh.
That's right there, baby.
So that's where I'm at right now, which is an ongoing process. And to me, my spirituality is actually what's going to lead me to the healing, because I've done the intellectual work, right? And understanding my trauma and my triggers and my bad habits, right? Yeah. But getting behind them, there's a lot of pain that has to be healed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And so that's what I'm going to God with. Like, okay, God. So me and my therapist was talking about this today. And she was telling me this, and that. So I think this is what we got down to. Now I need you to help me understand why this is true. Why is it true that people are just going to love me and respect me for just being me, and I don't have to do anything? Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah. So that's where I'm at right now. Wow. That's where I'm at, and I get up every day and I choose to meditate on that as long as I need to, until I get the answer that I need, and I'm gonna keep doing it until I believe in my heart that that's what it is. And so he's going to guide me and give me other tasks. I'm looking for him everywhere in my conversations and interactions with other people, signs, whatever. I'm fighting for my life right now. Yeah, because this process is what's necessary for me to complete before I can even conceive a child.
Yeah.
Yes. Now that,
you're fighting for your life.
Yes.
And the life of your children.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
My well-being. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's powerful.
Wow.
Yes, indeed.
I guess it's my turn. Like, I shouldn't put you on there.
Well, hey.
You for last. Look at me trying to be the rebellious one here. Trying to force something. But you got it. I'm going to piggyback off something that you said too. I identified how I am the aggressor and what I say and the joy I get from hurting people and knowing that I don't have to physically put my hands on you, but you are going to remember two things about me. That I'm the one person that you said the wrong thing to, and you're going to always remember that your words have power and so do mine. But then it's like, when I took that step back and I realized that, man, that's not a fun time to have. It's not. So I found myself writing about it. I'm an avid writer. I love writing. This is a talent that God gave me. And so I started writing more. I wrote my thoughts out, and I used to be a writer where I was very subconscious about what it is, what word I chose. But now that I understand transference and I understand the power behind words, and now that I'm in therapy, y'all.
Come on now.
I'm in therapy.
Yes.
And I'm in the best relationship of my life. Me and God, we have a different kind of relationship. My spirituality, it ignites the fire behind the words I allow to come out from me in my name. Because if I'm going to tell you something, I want to make sure that 1, you're going to remember it. 2, it's going to mean something. And 3, I don't want to hurt you by what I'm feeling. And so now I'm more aware of what I put out there in the atmosphere.
Yeah.
I'm way more aware of the fact that it does not have to be the $50 million word, because you have some people that don't have time to sit here and be like, man, I don't know what this word is. I'm going to Google it, because when they're in the moment, you want to let them sit in it and they can. I learned that my writing can be someone else's healing process.
That's right.
So it's my job to share what I learned through my process. And so something my therapist said to me in my first session, she said to me that I have to learn to stop and relax and take a breath because it's not a race. Because you only get one chance to breathe that day. You only get one chance to live that one day.
Mm.
Once you lay down and take that rest, it's all in God's hands what you're going to do the next day.
Woo!
I know that.
Yes. So I would like to say thank you to my therapist because now I'm at a point where I'm not forcing what I'm supposed to write anymore. I don't have writer's block. God just wasn't ready to tell me what I needed to hear because I was ready to process and heal in the physical realm.
Yes.
And so that I'm journaling more now without a purpose. I'm just letting the ink pen and God do his work. And then I go back and I reflect.
That's right.
I reflect.
That's right.
I reflect. So that's what I'm doing. I am pausing. I am breathing.
Yielding.
I am yielding. I am embracing every day for what it is. I don't care what tomorrow is.
Yeah.
I know I'm going to clock tomorrow. But, you know,
Right.
What else am I going to learn?
Yeah.
What am I going to be able to teach? What am I supposed to share? Who am I supposed to help?
Yeah.
And am I helping or hindering?
That's right.
So that's where I am right now.
Okay.
That's where I'm at.
I'll say some powerful stuff tonight.
Yeah.
You come to
Hey, so for any of the ladies listening, substance is still attractive, baby.
Yes, ma'am.
Substance is still attractive. Okay.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. And, I do want to take this time because I want to make sure I say this when listening to Alexis and then kind of reflecting on my answer to that question. I want to encourage everybody out there who is considering, starting a more formal therapeutic process in their healing. I think it's important that you make sure that you find a therapist who is culturally competent, right? For what it is that, what groups you belong to, right? And what I mean by that is, I think it's amazing, Alexis, that you and your therapist are bringing your spirituality into your treatment, right?
Yes.
Because that was something that I made clear with my therapist as well. I don't want a therapist to say that I have delusions because I told her the Holy Spirit woke me up in the middle of the night to pray for somebody that I don't like, which has happened on many occasions. I want to put that out there. That's how you know you grown when you got to sacrifice sleep to pray for somebody you don't even care for.
You can have a tantrum, but
Okay, right. That's a whole different right? But yes, it's important. It's important that when you guys are out there looking for therapists, counselors, and you want to bring that type of intervention into your recovery, your restoration, your healing. Make sure you find somebody that can respect your beliefs, understand where you're coming from, and has a general understanding of where you're coming from. Because again, you don't want anybody writing in your chart that you have delusions because you have a relationship with the Holy Spirit.
Right.
So again, if you guys are inspired by using therapy in your healing process, however that may look to you, and you don't know where to start, Covert Beauty got you.
Hey, surely do.
Right? You know why? Because we got Aunt Bertha on standby. Visit our website right now, www.covertbeauties.com. Go to our Contact Us tab. Scroll all the way down, and you will see a custom search engine that Aunt Bertha has already made for us. You put in your zip code, and it will show you free or reduced cost mental health services in your neighborhood. Okay? They're going to give you the addresses, the working hours, websites, what to expect, what they address if they are bilingual. The type of support groups they have, individual therapy, you name it. And the number, of course, and locations so that you can call and make an appointment. All that information is available at your fingertips. Okay. Yes. As well as many other social services. So shout out to Aunt Bertha's. Aunt Bertha is the only and our very first official partner. And they are a nonprofit organization based out of Texas as well. So we love Aunt Bertha. We are so grateful for the willingness to team up with us. Our partnership is very unorthodox because, again, there aren't too many beauty brands out there that are, committed to changing lives and bringing healing restoration to our communities. Right. So I just wanted to plug that in there, guys. I felt led to say it. So absolutely. I did, steal the mic a little bit just to put that out.
It's no problem. It's definitely appreciated because coming from someone who used to think, I'm not talking to a therapist, I got God for that. But I'm at a place where it's like, no, I want to talk to my therapist because she's going to help me organize my thoughts so I can go tell God, okay, I finally heard what you were saying to me. I finally understand what you were trying to show me. So now that I get it, can we rewind the tape so you can show me how to get through it?
Yeah.
You know?
I like that. I like that.
Hey.
That was nice.
I
I felt that. Yes.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
You know, what I hope too is like even as a man, I get to hear some things from you women
Oh,
and actually learn and take, I can take back to the drawing board for myself and then apply it in different ways. So, you know, that's awesome. I want to give y'all all props for that too.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
That's why he married.
I know that's right.
oh, well,
Thank you so much.
yeah, I appreciate that because I don't brag. I give credit where credit's due. And so I want to say thank you to everybody that is listening. And
Yes.
please remember, like you said, like our first lady said, Aunt Bertha is there for you. So if you feel like this shook up a little something in you, you don't in your feelings, please go to Aunt Bertha. Please go to Aunt Bertha.
And if anybody is in the greater Houston area, you might be feeling a little skeptical. I will extend myself as well. If you guys want to fill out the contact us page and you're looking for, more, recommendations, more specific recommendations as to where to go for therapy or what have you. I am a licensed master social worker here in the state of Texas, and I'm familiar with a lot of the mental health resources in the area. And I'd be more than happy to, talk to you and give my recommendations on what would be a best fit based off of what you're looking for. So please visit our website, www.covertbeauties.com. Go to our contact us page. You can fill out the form there, or you're more than welcome to email us directly at covertbeauties@gmail.com.
Yes.
We are here for you guys.
Yes.
Just like y'all here for us. So
Yes.
don't be
All righty.
shy.
So I think that would conclude the
Yes.
content of our podcast episode for this evening. Thank you guys so much for listening. Quick announcements. I do want to let everybody know that our new Empower Her gift set is available in stock. Fellas, I know some of y'all reached out to me, and I have been doing my best to make the website a lot more guy friendly. So this gift set is perfect for you to give a woman who is being introduced to Covert Beauty. If you get in trouble, or it's a great just because gift as well. And it includes one pair of her favorite eyelashes, a mirror, and it also includes our new Stuck With Me eyelash adhesive. It comes in our beautiful gift box. And we also added a new feature on our website where for a few dollars more, we will send a personalized card with a message to you. And we'll ship it off with it as well. Okay. So yeah, it's a great gift. And I just want to put it out there that I heard you. I appreciate your feedback. I did that for y'all. And soon we're going to have another gift set that is going to include one of our amazing eyeshadow palettes. So you guys be on the lookout for that. That will be released soon. So yeah, that's going to be perfect for Christmas. Perfect for Christmas. So I'm already helping y'all out. We're already ahead. I got y'all. I promised y'all, right? Covert Beauty Men. Speaking of which, Covert Beauty Men is going to be launched December 2020.
Ooh.
Yes.
We already have our inventory purchased, and it is right now. My wonderful husband is in the process of designing the packaging and making sure everything is, in order the way that we like. Because although we have an awesome mission, we also do have amazing products, and we don't want to sacrifice our look and the quality of our products for our mission, right? We want them to be well balanced at all times. So we are in the process of doing that right now. And then, we'll distribute that out to our PR listers to try, and you guys will be seeing those reviews pretty soon. So make sure you guys are following our social media handles. We are on Instagram at Covert Beauties. Also, our official podcast, which you are a guest to right now, It's Time to Uncovert, is our social media handle on Instagram as well. And then we also have Covert Beauty Men.
Yes.
So please follow all three pages on IG. We also have Covert Beauty and Covert Beauty Men on Facebook as well. We ask you to go ahead and subscribe to our Spotify and YouTube channels, both platforms to which our podcasts are being hosted right now. And you know what? We definitely want to go ahead and thank you guys again for your unmatched loyal support to the brand as we are expanding and we're creating this together based off of your needs and your desires. So you guys keep bringing up the feedback, telling us what we're doing right. Again, Covert Beauty is a brand for who?
The
people.
That's right. We are a brand for the people.
Yeah.
We are a brand for the people. So we're definitely here to meet you guys halfway.
Yeah.
Does anybody have anything before we close out?
Nah, man. Thank y'all. I am very
That took all the wind out of me.